Hello, everybody. I am super excited to bring a friend of mine out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Honey Borla is a broker owner servicing the Las Vegas area. So, if you're thinking of buying something in Vegas, or if you're thinking of going out there for Thanksgiving holiday and checking out the Las Vegas real estate market, there is your lady. So thank you so much for joining us today, honey. It's nice to have you.
I love being here, and I'm looking forward to our interview together. And it's a good thing you're not coming here this weekend. You know, we've got Formula One this weekend.
Oh, that is going to be
It is insane. They have probably 2.5 miles literally cut off of,
wow.
of the strip to where, I mean, it's strictly Formula One. And unless you've got tickets, you're not getting in anywhere's on the strip from Spring Mountain all the way down to I think Tropicana.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. They're saying it's going to, and we've got Super Bowl in the first of the year. What's it? Super Bowl is end of January, 1st of February.
Yep,
Yep,
exactly. And
yep.
I didn't realize that it was going to be in Las Vegas, so that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be very busy. Vegas is always busy. Period between conventions, Christmas it gets busy. We get lots of empty nesters. New Year's is huge between Vegas and New York. New Year's is huge. Then after that, we've got the Super Bowl coming in. So yeah, it's busy. And our market here is solid. It's not as crazy as it was when interest rates were 3.5 and 4, but it's still. I have a condo that went on the market. It was gone in a week.
Really?
Yeah, but it's also in a very desirable area.
So our market here in San Diego has slowed down. Of course, we think that it's a seasonal slowdown.
Mhm.
And you always wonder whether or not the market will pick up, come January, February, March or not,
Yeah.
when you're in the seasonal slowdown of October, November, December,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, and of course, 2024 is an election year. Election years usually means that our markets are going to be slower. How is it for you and Vegas in
Well,
election years?
I've been licensed since 1987. I am a broker. I own my own company. I used to be the broker manager for the largest producing Century 21 company in the world. That was up until 2008. But our market here, it for me, it's always steady. We have our inventory is actually low, and depending on what someone's looking for, is just it's just going to depend. I usually stay busy simply because I've been around so long,
Right.
and I do get a lot of personal referrals because of the way I work. I do. I like to do seminars to educate my clients, whether they're sellers or whether they're buyers. There is something that is that's out there, but it's not. Most people are not aware of. Have you heard of mortgage porting?
No.
Okay, mortgage porting is being done in Canada, the UK, and Australia, not here. And it's where someone owns a home, has a mortgage on it, and let's say they got a mortgage 3 years ago, so they have 27 years left. Okay, they can walk that mortgage to a new property, but it's not being done here in the US.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to educate people because, as you're aware, Wall Street, we do assumables, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Assumables people are used to. Okay. Assumables are coming back now because of what is happening. Okay. But mortgage porting, most people have never heard of it. Okay. And if you go on to YouTube, okay, you can find out about mortgage porting. You'll also find out that uh, it is being done in Canada, in the UK, and Australia, but not here because the mortgage companies feel they're not going to make any money. What's the difference if you do a mortgage porting or you do an assumable?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
So, yeah, these are things that I try and educate my clients prior to selling them.
So you're saying that mortgage porting is basically the mortgage follows the homeowner
Correct.
property to property.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's the opposite of assumable mortgages because assumable.
It's just reversed. It's reversed. Okay. An assumption is where a buyer comes in and assumes the existing loan that a homeowner has. Okay. Mortgage porting is where the homeowner can take his existing loan. Let's say he refied 3 years ago. So he's got 27 years left on a mortgage.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, he needs to sell. Okay. And he'd like to take that with him because he's not going to get a 3.5% or 4% in today's market.
Right.
Okay. Well, lenders here in this country aren't used to this.
Right.
So they don't, oh no, we don't want to do that. All right. So it's important to educate our consumers what's out there and what could be.
What could be.
Now they have to still qualify. Okay. All right. But there's a number of ways to use it.
So why would you need the buyer or the seller in this case? Why would you need them to qualify? Because
if the seller is moving,
yeah,
okay, the seller's moving, you either have to you have to um, um, buy up, or it has to be equal value. So if they're buying up, they have to qualify for that new amount.
right.
Okay, but they can take the existing mortgage with them. It's just like doing on a second, and you possibly do a carryback.
So this is something that if the lender is willing to offer that to their existing client, then the existing client can basically use this in order to purchase something else because somebody else is coming in purchasing their house and then releasing them from having to pay that more.
Again, it's just like what's happening with assumables. Okay, number one, we have to check with the lender. Will you allow this loan to be? In the old days, there were certain loans you couldn't assume.
Hmm.
Okay, today you can assume a VA. Okay, if the vet is willing to let it go. Okay, you can do an FHA, you can do a conventional. You can't do an FHA USDA loan. They're not assumable. Okay, so the mortgage porting would help the seller out. Okay, in this case, because he could take his existing loan and travel to a new property. He can't go to a lesser property, but he can go to a comparable or higher property.
If the lender allows it.
If the lender allows it. And then now you've got to educate, because like I said, if you talk to somebody, the first thing, oh no, we don't do that. Oh no, I never heard of it. Okay. So you have to educate first.
Right. And then have the client go back and demanding I wouldn't say demand it, but question it from the lender and see if the lender would allow.
In the US, this is a well-kept secret. But if you go on to, like I said, YouTube and type in mortgage porting, you'll discover it's being done in a lot of places.
Well, and in today's market, if a lot of homeowners were able to move their mortgage from one property to another,
You
then
have a lot of homeowners that need to move, like move up.
Mhm.
Okay. They've been in a home. They've now had, say additional children, or for whatever reason, or it even could be a job transfer.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay. There's many reasons people still need to move, but they're locked in because they're going, oh, but this idea now, interest rates have come down a little bit in the last week, but they're still mid sevens.
yeah,
We're not going to see 3.5. We saw 3.5 because the economy was in trouble,
right.
and then they were planning on the treasury, the government subsidized the lending industry for years,
Right.
and they were getting ready to raise interest rates when COVID came along, and they decided to leave it alone, okay, to stimulate the economy. Okay, I did more business during COVID
Mhm.
than I did the year before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, but and I used to, and I told my, these rates are not going to stay where they are. They're subsidized.
Yeah.
So, but the bottom line is and a lot of the younger generation, the millennials and the what is it, the generation Z, you know they're used to the low threes and fours.
Mhm.
They're not like those of us that bought homes in the 80s and the 90s, when the first home I bought, interest rates had been 17%, and they dropped to 12, and I went, oh my God, I got to buy a house. The interest rates will never be cheaper. And they weren't up until the early 2000s,
Right.
when when the market fell. Okay.
Tell us about the Las Vegas market. Um, how does
Market is market is strong here, and again, it depends. Okay, it still comes down to location, and price. Okay, we don't have the amount of inventory we used to have. We've got about, on an average day, there's about 3,400 properties from the low end to the high end. Okay. But it just depends on what you're looking for. Years ago, like in the 90s and the beginning 2000s, our average market, we could have like 29,000 properties.
Mhm.
Okay, and our lifespan on market, could be 3 or 4 months. Right now, and depending on where and depending on what it is, our market time usually runs about 60 days, if that.
Now, what determines, so in San Diego, the closer you are to water, the more expensive
Right, right.
the values are.
Certain areas, and it depends on certain areas here. It depends on, okay, for example, when they built the stadium for the Raiders, oh my God, everybody says, oh, my house, people people would say my house is going to be worth a fortune. Well, because I'm in Green Valley. Well, yeah, but you're 6 miles away. Now, if you're a block down the street, maybe, okay, but it depends. Our master plan communities do very, very well. Summerlin, um, 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 Southern Highlands, Green Valley, certain parts of Henderson. It just depends. People will say, I have some people, I don't want an HOA. In Las Vegas, most communities will have some sort of an HOA.
So if I am looking at Las Vegas here,
Mm-hmm.
um, uh, how would you say prices look in
If you go to the Henderson Green Valley, prices are usually higher because when they developed that area, the Corps of Engineers had to go in and clean up a lot of that area. They had a lot of washes. There's a lot of volcanic residue from that area. The Northwest is very popular as far as like people that want horsey property. When you look at, if you go to the Northwest, can you see my arrow? Because we're not sharing. You can't see my arrow, can you?
I can let you share, but if you tell me what website, I can go to the website that you want me to go to.
Well, I'm not sure because I'm not sure of this StreamYard. I've never used StreamYard before. I'm just used to the Zoom. Let's leave it here. If you look at this map and go to the top left, okay, top left area. Okay, this area, you've got Summerlin,
right?
And you've got what's called Centennial Hills, which is further north. Okay, you can see it says Centennial Hills.
Yeah.
Zoom in a little bit. Okay. All right. So that area, all right, is very, very, very popular. The Summerlin area is, especially Californians love the Summerlin area because it reminds them of the canyons from Southern California.
Got
okay.
it.
They're building, there's a lot of new properties right here west of 215. Okay. That is being built right now. And yep,
right.
Yep, right there. Yeah, right there. A lot of new stuff, which is gorgeous. You've got the Red Rock area. You've got, I mean, it's higher elevation. Okay. And again, it just depends on the individuals. Most older communities are closer to the I-15 corridor. Okay. So a lot of times when people say, you know, I want newer, I want something from the 2000s and up, they're going to want further out. Okay. Las Vegas has something like 75 golf courses. So it depends on what they're looking for. If they're retirees, the Summerlin Sun City area, they have 3 golf courses. Okay. And the nice thing about Sun City Summerlin is those golf courses, it only costs them maybe $25 a day to golf. Whereas if you go to TPC right in this area, you're looking at $250 a day.
Got it.
So it just depends on what it is they're looking for. And then a lot of times they have family here. So it depends on what part of the valley the family's in. You know, you've got over here, Lake Las Vegas, over here in the bottom far right. That's a man-made lake. Okay. Now, this area was developed. You've got 10 miles of shoreline. Celine Dion has a home in here. Okay. And this is people, they go, you got to be kidding. She literally, when she was working at Caesars, she got a heliport.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, adjacent to her property, and literally she would fly in and beat the 30-minute drive, you know, to come into the Strip.
Yeah.
Okay, so it just depends. Boulder City is further down here, past south of Henderson. Okay. And Boulder City is it is a much smaller community, and I sold a home right about just if you look okay, where you've got that picture, all right, right about the road right there, and the house. It was a single story. And my client bought this. It was gorgeous single-story home. The whole back of the house was all glass. And she had a full unobstructed view of Lake Mead. So nice. The homes here are very expensive. because it's supply and demand.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, now when I say expensive compared to California, okay, we're a bargain.
Right. Right.
Okay. The Californians that sell their homes, for a million and a half, 2 million, they can come here and buy a bigger house for 6, 7, 800,000 and still have money to put in the bank.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what they're looking for.
Right.
We do a lot of I do a lot of referral business. I've got some broker friends in the LA area that send me referrals all the time. I'm doing a probate right now. That was a referral from a family in the LA area. And so, again, it depends on what it is they need and what they're looking for. But like I said, I've got 37 years in the business. I was a lender for 5 years. There's very little I'm not aware of. I've got an appraisal background. I don't have a license. Okay. But there's quite a bit that I'm aware of. So it just depends on what they're looking for and what their needs are.
So, what made you go from managing into being a broker of your own, and going back into selling?
I love management. No, and I love training. And that's one of the reasons why I do seminars, because I like to teach. And we had 600 agents at Century 21 at the company that I managed for. And when the market imploded, the owners said, you know what, we're going to retire. And I had been in management for over 10 years. Now I had my own team. I had 3 agents that worked under it because I needed legs. I handled all the contracts. But you can't be in 2 places at once. So my team would take my clients out and show them, but all the discussions, all the legal work I handled. And when the owners of my company decided to retire, there was a lot that I was seeing. I went, no, I just wanted my own. And I have an agent that works with me as my file coordinator. She does my back office. Okay. Yeah, she's licensed, but all legal conversation goes through me.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah, and I just love it. I just love selling because every day, every transaction's different.
Yeah, every transaction is different, and you love the thrill process.
Yeah, it's and you meet people. It's nice when first time home buyers. It's wonderful to watch the excitement.
You're right.
One of my clients was the former right arm to our governor years ago, and I used to do a radio show on Saturday mornings, and I was on the radio one morning and this voice came over the phone. I'd know that voice anywhere. And I started laughing because I recognized his voice. And he had before going to work for the governor, he had been a newscaster for one of our local stations here. And he had thought he was going to sell his own home. I met him. He was a for sale by owner. And I said, look, I get what you're trying to do, but most people don't realize what it is that we really do.
Yeah.
And I said, would you mind if I stay in touch with you? And he said, sure. So I called him 4 days later and he says, come on over. And I was relatively new in the business. I think I'd been licensed maybe 3 or 4 years by that time. But I had worked prior to that for a top producing agent. So there were a lot of things I knew as a new agent that the average agent didn't know.
Yeah.
But he says, we decided we want you to be our realtor. They've been my clients since 1987. Unfortunately, he passed away 5 years ago.
Oh.
But it was like every time, and the man knew everybody. But because of how I work with my clients and I teach them before I sell them.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes them comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, they know exactly, yeah, they know exactly what's going on, and they're comfortable in the decision making when it comes time to make that decision. You know, so it just kind of goes, educating goes through the process, whether you're educating agents, new agents, or whether you're educating your clients. You know,
Exactly.
so, but
Well, thank you so much. This was fun. This was educational, and thank you for going through and letting us know about the different areas within Las Vegas. And audience, thank you so much for being with us. If you are thinking of buying or selling in Las Vegas, Honey is a wealth of knowledge, and you can reach out to her and have her give you a hand. There is Honey's phone number. There is Honey's email account.
if I can, my email, and I didn't see it, but my email is honeyhappyhomehunting.com.
Honey.
Happyhomehunting.com. No periods, no spaces. Honeyhappyhomehunting.com.
All right. So let me display that for the audience to see as well.
That's it.
This
There you
is
go.
the website. If you guys want to go to her website and check out her website, and if you are thinking of buying or selling in San Diego, yours truly, I'm here and would love to help you. There is my phone number, and there is let's see, there is my email address, and if you are on Instagram, there's my Instagram handle, and if you are watching us on YouTube, we would love for you to give us a thumbs up, and we always appreciate your comments, and anytime that you want to reach out to us on via comments, we'd love to hear from you. So thank you so much for joining us, and
Thank
Honey,
you, Roxanne. Thank
have
you.
a great evening.
Bye.
Bye.